Now I'm bringing Freckles into my house, and I always have him wait at the front door and walk through calmly with me, not pulling on the leash, but on a loose leash. Okay. And see how he knows to stay right next to me, the leash is loose. And if you're by yourself, you're gonna have to close the door yourself. You just do this little left turn, so you can go and close the door, and then he'll stay on your left. You just use your body, show him where to go. See how I'm doing these left turns? Sit to get him to be where I want him to be, because I'm going to do this mat exercise. I did a left turn to close the door, and then I did another left turn to get him sitting and facing the mat. So that left turn thing, whenever you're walking with him, really helps a lot, especially in tight places. See, we had real tight places here, and he just stayed on my left the whole time. So you want to use that with him because it works really well. The leash is loose the whole time. In order to send him to the mat, I'm going to pat his chest and say, go to your mat. And then I'm going to say down. He needs to come a little bit closer, like in the middle of the mat. So I'm going to say, okay, come on, let's go. Okay. So if you want to reset him, let's say that he does that, or he sits crooked or lays down crooked at your house when you do this, you can also reset him. He plops down in the wrong place. Even though he's crawled to where I want him to be, I'm going to show you anyway. I'm going to say, okay, come on, let's go. And then you just reset him. Walk him back to where you want him to be. And then you say down, and he'll go there. So once he's on the mat, you can reward him. Give him the rewards on the mat. You just put it between his little feet there. He's not supposed to touch your hand. He's supposed to wait till you actually put the food on the mat like that. Good. And wait till you withdraw to take the reward. He has to be calm. He has to be focused in the moment to be able to do that. The last thing you want is to be putting the food down there and then he's trying to get it out of your hand and he's all excited. That would negate the effect of this exercise because you want him to be calm, focused, playing all the rules, sticking with all the rules of this exercise, which is to be calm, wait until you put the food there and withdraw and then take it off the mat. And it's those little rules that he knows he has to follow. Good. That keep him at a higher state of focus, calmer for this whole exercise. And when we finish the exercise, he comes off of this mat with a little bit more calmness every time. So over the days and weeks that follow with this mat exercise, you see him getting calmer and calmer and calmer and able to handle more and more stress. Because the byproduct of doing this exercise is, even in the outside world, you can see that he can handle a lot more stress than he handled before, which will, you'll see it manifest itself in him not being so skittish, not getting overstimulated by distractions on the street. You'll see in another part of this video him out in public with a lot of things going on and being calm. The reason he can do it out there now is because we started doing this from day one. It really built up his focus by doing it here in the living room, and then as soon as he could be successful here, we started doing it out in real life. So you want to keep doing this exercise at your house because it really will continue to help him stay calmer in those situations. So once you can walk around and do things in the room in the room that you're doing this in with him, which usually you want to do this in the main room, where by the front door, the main area where people come and go and there's a lot of activity in the house. See that, how he crawled there? No. If he's crawling off the mat, you can just kind of step right into him, and I didn't even have to have my feet, my boots touch his feet. He just knew that he needed to back up. He just needs to stay. He knows the rules are, he stays on that patch of fabric there on the magic mat. He doesn't come off of it. And of course doing this can often seem like an invitation to the dog, but this is just another test of how well he's learning this exercise. Good, because we've taught him there's only one way you ever leave this mat, no matter what happens, and that's when he's released in a certain way. So if you come over and sit on a piece of furniture where formerly he may have jumped up and came over to you, he knows that's not going to happen because he's doing the mat exercise. And good. There's only one way he would ever leave that downstay. This downstay on the mat, will apply to real life as well. When you're doing it a downstay out in real life, because he learned it so well on the mat at first, he's going to have a great downstay out in public too. There's only one way he leaves a downstay, no matter what happens. It's when you come back to get him and release him in the way that we'll show you in a couple of minutes. So we're walking around him. Good. We're going to other parts of the house. I'm going to go into the hallway here and close the door. If you're ever going to do something that's difficult for him, it's okay to remind him so that he knows what you want him to keep doing. I'm going to say down, and I'm going to go into this back hallway here and close the door. Even knock on the door a little bit. Come back. Very good. Good. It's very hard to do things behind them, and he was really good. It's okay if he turns around to look, but he's not allowed to turn his body. So he did really well there. You can also try to pull on the leash like this, because a lot of dogs will get up to come to you because that's what used to happen. Good. Usually if you pull on the leash, the dog will get up to come to you, but he knows that there's only one way he leaves a downstay now. So just pull a little bit, don't pull really hard. Good. See, he kind of pulled back because he's not going to get up. He knows that he's supposed to stay there no matter what. So once you've done a bunch of different things in the house, and you can do things that are even harder, like opening the front door, going outside. This is really hard for him, so I'm going to remind him down. Knocking on the door. Good. Big reward for that, an extra piece. So he's getting 2 pieces, good, instead of 1, because whenever he does something exceptional that's harder than the other things you've been practicing, then you want to give him a bigger reward so he knows the difference. So now we're going to go outside and do some more, even harder stuff. Down. Going to go to the window, knock on the windows, mess with the mail slot, knock on the door again. Good. So he's got it. He knows that no matter what happens, good. There's only one way he leaves a downstay, and that's when his handler, owner, comes back and releases him in a certain way. And all of these things he learns on the mat, this carries over to real life. So this is what he's going to have. You can practice this out in real life now, and he'll have the same kind of downstay. So to release him, pick up the leash, stand next to him, pat your leg and say, see if that starts to happen? That's not allowed. See how he started rolling over and sideways? No. See that? We're not going to allow that. So you say, okay, and put him back. Come on. Down. So you want him to be that way. We're going to come back and repeat that whole last step. He needs to stay at attention on his elbows like that. That's a downstay until he's released. Okay. Pat your leg and say, okay. Sit. Make sure that you have him sit before you release him. Because if you release him straight out of the downstay on the mat, he's going to start learning that he's going to be free as soon as you say, okay. And he's going to take off, and you're going to lose that calmness that he's developed during that 5 to 10 minutes or so that you've had him on the mat. So you want him to come out of this exercise and keep that calmness. So you always release him out of a calm sit stay.